Welcome to Meet Me at the Deli, a food advice podcast where the pickles and slaw are always free. I'm Liz.
And I'm Jeffrey. Every episode, we're answering your burning food and culinary questions and sharing insights and stories from years working in the industry and living in our self-made shtetl.
Why did the Jewish deli never become franchised like major fast food companies like McDonald's or, God forbid, Arby's?
Arby's has a pastrami sandwich. They promote themselves as being, as having the meats and the craft of the meats. They really do. And it is centrally prepared. Some of them are in store and they have meat slicers. That's one thing that famously Rahm Emanuel sliced off part of his middle finger at an Arby's when he was working there as a teenager.
Wow.
That's how he lost it. And so they actually have meat slicers at these places.
I actually heard it as at a deli, interestingly enough. So there's the conflation.
He might have had a little shame about it being an Arby's. There is collectively a sense, even in this question's like God forbid an Arby's, but
It says God forbid an Arby's.
it does. So there is a real stigma about the Arby's. Well, we have 4th of July. Obviously, this is, the hot dog eating season. Although I feel like it's been glizzy season for a long time.
I had a hot dog yesterday.
Yeah.
Delicious.
With ketchup?
It's great. Where do we go?
Maybe. Yeah. No, we go ketchup.
Okay.
It was at a barbecue, but yeah.
No.
All right.
Liz is a ketchup on a hot dog.
Come on.
You have
It's a thing.
to talk about this multiple times.
Yeah.
So
We won't let it go.
Nathan Handwerker is of Nathan's fame. Many books have been written about Nathan Handwerker and his contributions to American culinary life. But he actually stole the idea while he was working at Feltman's, which is also a Coney Island institution. Mm-hmm. And Feltman's sold their hot dogs for 10 cents. He opened one up next door, basically, and sold his for 5. And so he was boosted by the opening of the subway that now goes out to Stillwell. And the hot dog stand was right there like a mirage. You get off at the end of the train and there's the hot dog place with 5-cent hot dogs. And of course you eat them. Of course you go. Something else that I think is super interesting about it is he coined the phrase kosher style because he wanted people to feel comfortable eating the hot dogs. At the time, there were hot dogs that were made with proteins that we might find a little dicey here. And
horse meat was a big thing.
Horse meat was a big thing. So for people to feel comfortable, he said he had rabbinic supervision kind of wink and smile and come up with the idea of kosher style. And that persists today, not mixing meat and milk, but again, not necessarily having kosher meat, but having something that gives it a sense of separation. And I find that so interesting. And I find that really inventive. And that's kind of what gave, in addition to the price, Nathan's this nice little halo. It was in theory more affordable, or in reality more affordable, and in theory perhaps not quite as dicey of a proposition to eat street meat. And this was around the time of the jungle, Upton Sinclair and all of the sort of theories about, where the meat was coming from. And there were obvious reasons people were avoiding it anyway. To get started on pastrami, I think we owe the universe a primer on pastrami. And I feel like you two have probably a pretty good grasp on its origins as a misunderstood item that means something different historically than it does in American contexts.
Yeah,
right?
I think that there are some debates around the origin of pastrami. But I know it as like this Turkish pastrama that is dry aged on under saddles on horseback.
Yeah.
And then we owe pastrami here to the Romanian immigrants that brought pastrami from Romania. I always think about the Jewish pastrami that was often eaten in that region was often served. It was a room temperature cured meat.
And it was goose.
It was goose. It was lamb.
Right.
It was made with local.
It was not necessarily
kosher
beef at all.
ingredients. And you had your pork pastrami. The non-Jews in Romania, they enjoyed that. And then you have this intense spicing, the rub. That's what makes it so special. The coriander and the peppercorn rub, various other things mixed in. But those are kind of that's the essence of it. And here, and it comes to America. And here in America, we have cheap beef coming over from the Midwest. And we have these Polish immigrants who would take over the German delicatessens, and they create these Jewish delicatessens. And you get this, you're making pastrami, you're making it with the beef, you're serving it suddenly hot, and you're putting it on rye bread on the go, so you can go to your job at the garment factory, and you can take your knish with the leftovers wrapped up in it. And the pastrami met the moment here.
And it's worth noting that what the Jewish deli is this place where pan-Ashkenazi Jewish food could come together. So that's why it made sense that something that was Romanian made sense with Polish Jews who did not necessarily have the same food traditions, but roughly had similar reference points, right?
In some instances, it's kind of first culture. In some instances, it's kind of third culture. It's people interacting with, I mean, Houston, you can get really good Cajun barbecue. You can get Vietnamese barbecue. You can get great Korean barbecue. You get all these things that kind of interact with the culture. So I don't know.
And have you eaten this pastrami?
They're like, I'm in Texas and I'm just stuffing meat into my face. That's all I'm supposed to do here. It's great. There's no filler. There's no interruption, right? It's just like meat face. That experience versus of it being, you know, first of all, brisket pastrami, dry rubbed and with no sauce versus what you get in New York, which is a lot of ceremony, you know, how it's sliced, whether it's lean or fatty, whether you put mustard on it or not, whether you serve it on rye.
Always fatty, always mustard.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But some people
always rye.
Right. Exactly. That changes the experience of it. And that's, you know, that goes into Montreal too, because for their smoked meat, they have the brisket, and you go to all the different places there that are fantastic. And
I'm hearing a lot of equivocating. I want to know.
Look,
don't make him do it.
There's a Texas wolf and a New York wolf inside of me, and it's hard to say one is better than the other. I think they're different. Okay. I do like New York pastrami. I like the ceremony of it. I think that when I'm in Texas, I wouldn't go for pastrami if I'm going for barbecue. And that's really what it comes down to for me. As someone who doesn't have almost 4th of July cookout agency, if you were invited to a 4th of July cookout and there were no hot dogs or hamburgers there, are you disappointed?
I'll be honest.
Are you taking back the thing that you bought for everyone to drink and putting it in your bag?
The hamburger.
Giant kombucha's going with me.
Yeah, that's right.
Hot dogs are more a celebration of American identity for me than hamburgers. So I feel like having a hot dog and no hamburger, I'd be okay. Having a hamburger, no hot dog, I'd be disappointed.
Oh, interesting.
All right.
Interesting.
So the hierarchy is set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. I think you have to have both, but that's nice.
Well, we know where
I'm demanding. Yeah, that's right.
Larry David deliciously parodied the concept in an early Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. Shout out Curb Your Enthusiasm. But seriously, is it still a thing? And if it is, will it last or will it die out eventually? Celebrity sandwiches. Let's go.
Jeff, what do you say to Jeff?
Well, Jeff, I appreciate this question. I appreciate any question that's a reference to a Larry David project of some kind. I'm actually looking forward to. I haven't yet watched the new Larry David, but there's him and Obama teamed up. There's a whole American history show on HBO. Oh yeah,
God.
You got to keep up with those.
I'm not.
I love this episode, by the way, where Larry David. Have you seen this episode?
I've seen this episode.
I saw it many years ago, so it's not fresh in mind.
I've seen it many times. So basically,
maybe recap real quick.
It's a great thought, Adam. Yeah. Okay. Quick recap. Larry David finally gets a sandwich at his favorite deli. Finally gets a sandwich, okay? But he gets a sandwich. It's like Sable, Whitefish, capers, some red onion, and it's just like
he doesn't want that sandwich.
He's like
Sable's good, but I get it.
He doesn't want the sandwich. He wants his buddy Ted Danson. He's got the Ted Danson.
I thought it was the Richard Lewis. Okay, right. Yeah.
Turkey, coleslaw, Swiss cheese. Maybe I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it.
You can't get Ted Danson sandwich.
He wants a sexier sandwich.
And Ted Danson never goes to the deli. He's always in there with Richard Lewis, with his dad. He's always eating. He's like, I want to eat this sandwich. He goes to Ted Danson. He's like, Ted, come on, can we, listen, you never go there. Can we just switch sandwiches? And Ted's like, you know what? Sure, of course. You know what?
Why
you go there,
did the Jewish deli never become franchised like major fast food companies like McDonald's or, God forbid, Arby's?
And then Jeff, his manager, is like, capers, red onions, and it's just like, and then Ted's like, guys,
he takes it back.
Wow,
that sounds awful. I can't do that.
Oh my god!
And so Larry just, he gets stuck with the sandwich, and then he ends up pissing off the owner. It's a whole thing. A great episode, but all that's to say is I kind of love that aspiring to have a place on the menu of a place where you eat and where you go regularly in a tradition and a cuisine of your heritage, and to be honored in that way. It's a beautiful thing.
Like, I like the Brunsons that have been popping up. There's for Jalen Brunson, everyone found out what his bodega order is, and everyone has been honoring him around New York by making the Brunson, which sounds delicious. But
which is just a bacon, egg, and cheese, right?
It is. There's potatoes. There's a hash brown in it, and some chipotle mayo, and
on a roll.
On a roll.
Kaiser roll.
On a Kaiser.
Yeah. On a Kaiser roll. But what I think is important, I mean, this is like you're about to go play some basketball, so Actually, no, I think it might be on a bagel. It's on a bagel. I was wrong. Anyway, but I do think that that's a nice way to honor somebody and to have something that people get excited about. However, you got to have some kind of tangible connection to it somehow. If you're just going to name it after a celebrity and they've never been in and they never come by, I think it's silly. I think it's.
I do love the Brunson sandwiches though, but I like that it's actually his order. It's not like it named after him as much as it's like I want the Brunson order, and I kind of like that. You're getting a piece of like their identity, and I kind of like that. I want to be like Brunson. I want to have like what Brunson does before a game day. I'm about to play a game. Give me the Brunson order. I kind of want it to shift a little,
as opposed to like the Brunson.
Give me the Brunson.
I see what you're saying.
This has been a podcast by Heeb Media.